ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Thank you so much for being here. Brian Duncan is joining us here today, and by the way, you see the little lights right there, Brian. You see the little.
I do. All right, there we go. Got to point to me. You got to point it out to me.
Well, that's the thing. You know, you get to the big studios, Brian. They've got them all over the wall, and the lights, and they got the big sign in front that says "On Air." I don't do that.
I just take your word for it.
You just take my word. We're rolling. Brian is here. He's the vice president of the Illinois Farm Bureau, and we are going to talk about all kinds of things. Talking about the Farm Bureau and the Illinois farm life. You'll be qualified to talk about Illinois farm life, right?
I've been living it all my life.
Living it all his life. So yeah, he's absolutely qualified, and we'll do that here over the course of the next hour. Again, you're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on this beautiful Wednesday, April 5th. I hope you're having a gorgeous Wednesday, as am I. A little bit of rain last night, but it's going to get out of the way area, and fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed. Cross your fingers. No rain for this Sunday. You know, you believe do you believe the old adage, the 7 Sunday, if it rains on Easter?
No, you
never heard that?
No, 7 Sundays after.
If it rains on Easter, you're going to get rain on the next 7
marching like a lamb, out like a lion, I think held true this year. That held true this year.
We had a lion getting out.
Yes.
Now that you mentioned it, did you have any damage up in your area?
We were fortunate. On Saturday, tornadoes went both sides of our farm.
Oh, boy.
Within 10 miles, kind of each direction. No damage, but now today we had heavy rains, like 3 inches in a half hour. So my wife texted me an hour ago, said there's water in the basement.
Oh, no.
I'm 4 hours from home, not sure what I can do about that, but she let me know.
Yes. And to let you know when actually you are able to do something, that yes, you will be doing something.
I plan on driving home slowly.
I don't blame you a bit. We'll get you off camera so she doesn't throw anything at the camera. Folks, what's going on here today on Wednesday, April 5th? There are a few items of interest today in community events. As a matter of fact, here at the Flora Public Library this afternoon at 2 p.m., they'll be hosting their weekly workshop on gardening and horticulture. The workshops are held every Wednesday from 2 to 3. Monthly schedules and reminders, they post them on the library's Facebook page, so you can, if you want a little bit more information, just go to their Facebook page. They'll help you out. Today's class is on pruning basics for home landscapes. Presentations will be made by master gardeners and horticulture educators. And again, for more information, if you like, give them a call at 618-662-6553. Do you garden?
I do not.
Do you? Does your wife?
No, we are not big gardeners, but I am I'm a good consumer of food.
Well, that's cool. I was thinking you have the prime resource for. Well, yours might be a little bit too urea filled.
Well, maybe. My family, yes, I do come from a line of gardeners. My mom, but no.
Well, you are a grain farmer, though. So
and livestock. We know where the farmers' markets are.
That's good. That makes a ton of sense. You need to know that. What else going on today, ladies and gentlemen? It's a puzzle swap and competition. This is going to be over at the Bryant Bennett Library. It'll be from 5:30 till 6:30 this evening. Puzzle swap for everyone in the Davenport room. Puzzle competition will be held from 5:30 to 6:30. Prizes will be awarded to the top teams. Teams of up from 1 to up to 4 participants are urged and suggested you call in and register at 548-3006. That's over in Salem. What else going on today, ladies and gentlemen? This is a fun one. Ladies and gentlemen, National Caramel Day. April 5th is the date for National Caramel Day. Caramel lovers celebrate their favorite treat on National Caramel Day each year. Observed on April 5th, this versatile confection adds delicious, creamy flavor to desserts, pastries, as well as candies. Caramels are made by adding milk and fat to the sugary syrup that has been heated and continually stirred until it reaches a light brown color. As early as the 17th century, American women used caramelized sugar and water to make candy. Since then, it's been an economical candy produce. It found its way into many recipes. Around 1850, somebody discovered that adding milk and a fat product to the cooked sugar resulted in the soft, chewy candy. So that's pretty cool. Bakers have been using that all these years. Trivia questions here for you, Brian. You didn't know you were going to get quizzed, did you?
No, let me get my phone out so I can look up the answers.
No time for Google here, Buster. Should you stir your caramel as it cooks? This is a good question. I have no idea, because
I would say no. Would that cause it to separate?
I would think you'd have to, or it'd get stuck.
Well, I don't know. What's the answer?
That's a great question. Stirring isn't necessary while the sugar melts in the pot. Allow the sugar to melt slowly over medium heat. You can swirl the caramel by sifting the pan right over the heat. Avoid splashing it. I'm wrong. You're right, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. He's the vice president. That makes sense. Let's see. How do you store homemade caramel sauce? So you make your own caramel sauce, like for ice cream. How do you store it?
Yeah. So my mom used to make homemade caramel.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Did you bring some?
Whoa, no, but I think she stored it in a refrigerator. And I'm not sure she didn't reheat it then every time we served it.
Ladies and gentlemen, homemade caramel sauce can be stored in an airtight container in the refrigerator. Well, there you go. The man knows his business. That's so pleasing to hear. That's wonderful. But you're the caramel expert.
I had some today.
Did you?
You had your local ice cream.
Oh, at the Fat Dan's up there?
We pulled through the ice cream trailer, and I had ice cream with caramel on it.
Well, that's wonderful. This is also, and I'm sure you've had this, this is National Deep Dish Pizza Day, April 5th. This gives pizza lovers a day to celebrate one of America's favorite varieties of pizza. Whether it's dine-in, delivered, or homemade, deep dish pizza satisfy pizza lovers all over the country. That looks like Giovanni's on Rush Street.
I'm a thin crust guy. I like my pizza so thin it only has one side.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a thin and crispy. Oh, yeah.
All right, now I got to ask you then. If you're a thin guy, do you ever go down to St. Louis to see they're famous for their thin emos or something like that?
Yeah, you know what I found in St. Louis? An awful lot of Cardinals fans. And, that's probably not a good place for me to go.
Look at this. You realize there's Cardinal stuff all over the wall here. All right, we've just altered the tenor of the interview immeasurably.
Hey, you stole our catcher. So I hope you stole it. You stole our catcher.
I don't blame you for feeling that way. I don't, because we are really, really glad to have him.
Yeah,
we are really glad to have Contreras. He's so good.
Yeah.
I'll get back out of this so we can still continue to talk as friends. How many different cities have a pizza named after them? This is basically, you look at that's Chicago-style pizza. There's also, you can come up with Detroit-style, St. Louis-style, that's the thin. New York-style, the folding pizza, and that kind
New
of stuff.
Haven.
New Haven. I did not know about New Haven pizza. Somebody told me about it last week for the first time.
Thin, crispy.
Have you been to there?
No, but I've had it other places. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be outstanding.
Outstanding, yes.
Well, that's so there you go. New Haven pizza is wonderful. Okay, one other day today, and after having enjoyed the caramel and the pizza, this is probably this is good that is on this day. Ladies and gentlemen, the first Wednesday in April is National Walking Day. This encourages Americans of all ages to get out, stretch your legs, get your heart pumping. The American Heart Association sponsors this day to remind people about the health benefits of taking a walk. Wear your sneakers or take them with you to work, and at some point in the day, take a 30-minute walk. Do you get the opportunity? I know your line of work probably sees you walking around quite a bit.
Well, it depends. If I'm doing Farm Bureau business, there's a lot of sitting, but you can always walk to get more pizza and caramel.
I like that. I like that, the attitude. Yeah, I'm like you. I don't get the opportunity to walk. Even before I screwed up my leg, I don't get the opportunity to walk nearly as much as I should. But see, now that's the thing, Brian, with me. My wife tells me we've had dogs for the last 25 years, and we keep Great Danes. My last one passed away last summer, and my wife says we can't get another dog until I get my leg fixed so that we can walk, that I can walk the dog. That makes sense.
It does. That does, and that's why dogs keep you healthy.
That's exactly right. The bargaining and compromise, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly right.
So she can't walk the dog?
She wants me to.
Okay.
She can.
I was just asking.
Yeah, I'll tell her you asked that. That'd be good. What else going on today? Ladies and gentlemen, Major League Baseball is on this afternoon. Actually, this morning, starting a couple hours after this. It's the Chicago Cubs at the Cincinnati Reds. Marcus Stroman versus Hunter Green. Stroman's going to have a good year for you.
Yeah, I think so. I
like Steele, Jake Steele, or whatever his name is. Is it Jake?
Yeah, our starting pitching, I think, will be good. The bullpen, I'm afraid they can't throw strikes.
Yeah,
so
we'll find out. The bullpen
is Justin Steele.
Justin, that's right. Well, he's on my fantasy team, and I forgot it.
Yeah.
But that's at 11:30 today. It's on Marquee right here on Wabash, channel 597. Cardinals are going at 12:15. That's the Braves at St. Louis. Bryce Elder getting called up for the Braves. He'll face Miles Michaelis, and that's on Bally, channel 630. And finally, the White Sox are on NBC Sports Chicago at 1:10. San Francisco Giants in Chicago. Logan Webb versus Dylan Cease. This is Brian Duncan. I'm Bruce Dickey. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey, and we'll be back right after these words. We're going to have a lot of fun. You're watching Big Talk. Back in a sec.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I'm Dr. Eric Pikus. I'm a general practice physician here at CRHPC, and I work at the Clay Medical Center in Flora. One of the things that I love about working for CRHPC is the fact that it's a federally qualified healthcare center, and that means that we can take care of any patient, whatever the case may be. We don't have to worry about their financial situation, and I love the fact that we can take care of anybody that needs our help. So no matter what care somebody needs, we're going to give them the best possible care available without judgment.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
Welcome back, folks. Happy Wednesday to you. Brian Duncan is here. He is from the Illinois Farm Bureau. He's a vice president of the state in the Illinois Farm Bureau. And appreciate you taking some time, Brian, to come down here and talk to the folks. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Give me the Brian Duncan story. Where are you from?
Well, I farm with my family in Polo, Illinois. My wife and I, my wife of Oh, I should have
That's
done the
what
math.
that one.
I should have done the math before I said that.
You know exactly.
No, I don't. 33 years, and we've been together 40. So, yeah.
Wow.
High school
So you
sweethearts.
high school sweethearts.
High school sweethearts. We have 4 kids. We farm at a diversified grain and livestock farm north of Polo, Illinois. My son's full-time on the farm. My daughter's full-time with me. My other daughter's our bookkeeper, accountant. And my 4th daughter is a crew leader for the Nature Conservancy at the Nachusa Grasslands, about 40 minutes from our house.
Is that toward Joliet or what?
Yes, it's over by Rochelle. They've
Yeah,
got
I drove through there about
4,000
2 years
acres
ago.
of native prairie and buffalo, and she's a crew
There's
leader.
buffalo in there?
They have a buffalo.
I had no idea. I was driving around this place because it's basically a big prairie out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's prairie. It's one of, so I can't remember the word for it, but it's original prairie.
Tall grass.
Undisturbed prairie. So anyhow, that's where Molly works, my youngest. And very fortunate. I have a great team at home, employees and family that allow me to do this job, spend the day down in Clay County.
How big of a operation are we talking about? I mean, are you looking at 1,000 acres, 500 acres, 10,000, 25,000 acres? How big are you?
About 5,000 acres.
That's pretty good.
And we'll market about 55,000 hogs that we are still an independent producer. I partner with another individual. He markets about 20. So between the two of us, we have about 75,000 hogs.
Is that the largest? Is that how big is that in Illinois?
Tiny.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I'm an accounting error on the hogs in Illinois. So we're wean to finish, and I have ownership in some sow farms managed by Carthage Vet Precision Swine Service in Carthage, Illinois. And so we get our pigs as weaners and take them to market, and they go to Beardstown or
Okay.
to Delphi, Indiana.
What got you into hog farming? I guess it's a family business.
I was born into it, and at the time, when I started farming, it was in the 80s, is when it was in the middle of the farm crisis. And actually, livestock was a pretty good business to be in.
Yeah, the grain was low.
horrible, and
Yeah.
we could walk a percentage of the grain off the farm,
Sure.
and value add. And so, that's why I got with it, and we've changed the operation around a little bit over the years, but that's why we're there.
Where are you in Illinois?
Polo, northwest, so 45 miles down from Wisconsin, 45 miles over from Iowa.
Okay, well, that's a nice area. That's a beautiful area up there. Tell me a little bit. You said in the 80s the pricing of grain kind of got you into your family was not hog farmers before that.
No, we were, but just not to this scale. And as I wanted to come back and join the family farm, I mean, Dad was
How many
farming.
siblings that were involved?
None that wanted to, else other than me. 2 other brothers. One, they were all much smarter than me and pursued. One was a medical doctor and one's a pharmacist. So, but Dad had 265 acres and 40 sows, and that
Yeah.
was it. To bring me into the operation, we needed to do something.
Yeah, you had to be bigger than that.
Had to be bigger than that, and so expanding the hogs was the first thing that I did, and then the crops we've kind of followed since then.
And it's been, I'm guessing, a labor of love. How many? But that's the thing with hog farming is as much like cattle farming. That's different from grain farming. Grain farmers, they can take a little time off.
Yeah.
Hog farmers, you kind of have to have somebody rolling all the time.
Well, and prior to 2017, we had sows at our farm. We had about 800 sows, and so we were breeding, farrowing it was 7 days a week. It was a huge commitment, and we just needed to, again, make some changes, either get bigger, make some investments, and I just decided partnering and having, being part of something larger with the Carthage system made sense, and so that's the direction we went. Now, the hog industry's changed a lot.
Yeah, there's very few independents nowadays.
And one of the reasons I got into it was I liked being independent. I liked negotiating sales of hogs. I enjoyed all that. And, that's certainly shifted. Some could argue maybe not for the better for the producer. That's a debate for a different day, but things have certainly shifted.
Do you have the opportunity? I mean, you've got in Wayne County and Clay County, that's a sizable hog farm.
Yeah.
Are you able to negotiate a little, probably better price on feed and such, but how about on pricing on the hogs?
Well, we have a contract pricing arrangement with both JBS in Beardstown and Indiana Kitchens in Delphi. So there's no negotiating.
Yeah,
It's a pricing formula,
that makes more
and
sense.
we just schedule pigs anymore. We don't negotiate.
Yeah, I didn't really mean to get that deep
That's
into the
fine.
operation.
But, and one thing about us on the feed side, you mentioned that we feed a lot of our own corn.
Yeah.
So we grow. I'm from the land of continuous corn.
Mm-hmm.
Down here, I know you do a lot of rotation.
Yeah.
Up our way, it's easy 3/4 corn, 25% soybeans, and I'm a little heavier on corn than that. So we grow a lot of corn and market a percentage of it through the hogs.
Do you ever, you mentioned that you're 45 miles from Wisconsin. It makes me think Wisconsin has so many brewers. I mean, just for one, because Illinois isn't really set up for the craft brewing industry. Wisconsin is. And they take their work, what they're left over, to hog farms a lot of times.
Yeah,
have you ever thought about that?
No, I have a toll mill that sources all my byproducts and things like that, and I don't think he's getting any brewers' grains. So we have a cattle feed lot too.
Yeah.
And I know at times we fed different byproducts, candy, different things
It's just
through
fascinating.
the cattle.
It's just fascinating, the difference in the end product too.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense. You are what you eat, but what do you find better? I mean, what works the best to make the best hog?
Well, it's corn soybean diet.
Corn soybean.
I mean, that's the standard for the industry. Corn soybean, a little bit of distillers grains, which is the byproduct from ethanol production. But a corn soy diet, and like I said, we grow corn that goes through the hogs, and so we're adding. A lot of times we like to think we're adding value to the corn. Now, right now, it's not that way. The hog market is not covering the cost of inputs, but that happens, and so
it's corn. The inputs were out of corn, and the corn's pretty
very
pricey
high
right
price.
now. Yeah. Corn's pretty pricey right now. Oh, that's just fascinating. I don't get a chance to talk to this size hog farmer down here. There aren't this size hog farmers.
Well, I think there are. I drove by some pretty sizable operations on the way down here.
Yeah, well, that you may have. I don't know. I might be misinformed or ill-informed. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I tell you what, we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit how he got into the Farm Bureau stuff, because that's fascinating to me too. Again, Big Talk with Bruce Dickey right here on Wabash Back in a second.
At Midwest Farm and Land, we've got a team of dedicated land, home, and commercial experts ready to help.
We understand that buying or selling a property can be extremely stressful. Let our folks take care of you and help you find your perfect piece of property.
Whether it's recreational or hunting land, farmland, homes, or commercial, we're there to help.
Local experts with national reach. If you're interested, give us a call, 618-532-1961, or check us out on the website, midwestfarmco.com.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
For service beyond the surface, call Carter Trucking in Fairfield. Carter's trucks are ready to haul your big freight and grain. So whatever you call Jeremy Carter, the Mucho Mulcho Man, the driveway doctor, the gravel guru, the pothole pirate, the rockin' redneck, the smooth operator, the mudhole master, or the happy hauler, just call him. 842-2022 to haul your big freight, grain, and more with trucks from Carter Trucking, Williamson Drive in Fairfield.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Joined by Brian Duncan today. He's the Vice President of the Illinois Farm Bureau. All right, Brian, you've been, I'm fascinated by this. You're a farmer you've got all this grain, all these hogs. You've got all these other things going, the feed lot for the cattle. What made you decide to work with the Illinois Farm Bureau?
Well, Bruce, I've been involved with Farm Bureau since your first
insurance, I suppose.
Well, since I started farming. I grew up in a Farm Bureau family, and I don't know if you know Farm Bureau very well or not, but there's definitely Farm Bureau families, and my parents were big believers in Farm Bureau and the influence that it has and the need for agriculture to have a unified voice.
Actually, one of my old agents just retired at age 90.
Oh, gee. There you go.
Noel Vaughn down in Fairfield.
There you go.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the years of service.
Yeah.
But I've always believed there's a lot of issues that can impact us in agriculture, and as individual farmers, we do not have the muscle to really matter.
Right.
But when you get us all together and we speak with one voice on issues, then there's muscle. And being a part of that, I thought, was as an essential part of protecting my farm business as going out every day and taking care of the animals, that we had to also have that focus on the government side of things, and also on
the business side.
Becoming a better farmer. And some of the things that Farm Bureau has done, the sponsored and been part of educational activities as well. So all of that combined, I've been involved with, and just grew out my interest in activities.
I noticed in your bio that you were in the young farmers.
No, I was a young farmer once.
That's those folks, they do shows in Clay County here all over the place. They have a lot and actually they do stuff all over the place down here. That's really a worthwhile organization for young farmers.
Oh, I loved it. And
you aged out.
But I made friends that I still have to this day that we talk every week. And that was really, our county young farmers group really took shape when Kelly and I were that age, and a lot of good friends and a lot of fun times and good activities we did then. And then I was fortunate enough to serve on the state young farmers. It was called Young Farmers at that time.
Is it not that anymore?
Young Leaders.
Oh, okay.
And made lifelong friendships with people all around the state. And a lot of personal development as well, a lot of leadership skills, but just saw the importance and the ability of Farm Bureau to really make a difference in the lives of its members.
Tell me a little bit about the change from young farmers to young leaders. Is that indicative, I guess, of an attempt by Farm Bureau to really, not distance yourself from farming, but make it a bigger tent?
Yeah, I think so. And there's a reality. There's a lot of people that have, a lot of young people that have deep interest in agriculture. And there might be a season where they're not able to return to the farm, though they would like to. I'm sure you know, and as well as I do, people that have worked outside the farm, and then an opportunity comes and they come back home.
Yeah.
And so I think the rebranding of that was in part to acknowledge that there's a season and you're important to the organization, so come be a part of us.
That was a few years ago for you. I'm not going to tell folks how many years ago, but
more than a couple.
It was a couple of years ago. Okay, you stepped aside from that, and you remained, I guess, in Farm Bureau for a while. What made you dedicate? Was there one straw that broke a camel's back, maybe, that made you decide that you really wanted to jump a little bit deeper into that pool?
Yeah, I think. The hog industry, the hog crisis of '98, really, I felt like there was some structural things happening in the hog industry that I felt like that needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
Or at least needed to be discussed. And so I got a little more involved then again in our county farm bureau. County president at that time had an opening on the board and came and asked me if I'd run for the board, and I did. And one thing led to another, and a few years later, I found myself as a county farm bureau president.
And you were that for quite some time.
13 years, and I've always been really active and a real believer in how Farm Bureau establishes positions through the grassroots policy process. Everybody will know I've got my policy book with me at all times. That the power of the member in Farm Bureau, the power that the member has in developing policies, when we take positions as an organization, it's based on what's in this book and what the members have put in there and what the delegates have voted on at our annual meeting.
Well, I was going to say, you have the policy resolutions.
Yeah.
But it's not like there's just somebody in the back room or in the smoke-filled, they don't have smoke-filled rooms anymore.
No. Back in the day, some of the stories were legendary.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's not like that anymore, really, is it?
No, and I've been fortunate. One of my jobs as vice president is I oversee the policy development process.
Oh, really?
And so, the members have issues, they have concerns, it
gets voted on.
They submit ideas, it goes through a process, and if it ends up in this book, this is what governs the positions we take in Illinois Farm Bureau. And so, I know almost none. In fact, I can't think of any organizations that put that kind of power in the individual members' hands.
I'm going to say I can't think of any either.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything like that either. I tell you what, let's do. We're going to take another quick break. You are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Brian Duncan is here with the Illinois Farm Bureau, visiting around the state. We'll get into a little bit about why you're doing that here in a few minutes. But I also want to know how you got involved in the state organization. Also, you're watching Big Talk. We'll be back right after these. Do stick around. Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local Hankook tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Talking with Brian Duncan, the Illinois Farm Bureau. And okay, so you're bebopping along. You're having a good time, right? you're involved in the county. And what county is it up there?
Ogle County.
Ogle County.
I was Ogle County president for 13 years.
Having a good time, going to the conventions, playing the golf outings, and that kind of stuff.
There's a little more heavy lifting. The count, I think,
that's all they do, right?
Yeah, I think you're underestimating how important the role of the county president is.
I know David White down here, so
it is. I've said being a county president is the most important role in the organization and the most fun, because you have your own county, you have a manager.
Yeah, the managers.
As long as you've got a good manager
Yeah.
you can work with, and I did. And I mean, I'd talk to my manager several times a week, and we'd work through issues, and I had a great board. I had a 28-person board.
Good grief.
Yeah, but we had
That's
it organized.
huge.
Yeah, we had it organized though, and that was a great run. So, but I'd been there for 13 years, and it was. I had done all that I could do in that role.
Yeah.
And there was some good young talent coming, and so I had a decision
Stepped
to
out of
make.
the way.
I had a decision to make, you know.
Get out of the way, but you want to stay in the organization.
And I feel passionately enough about the organization that I wanted to provide more. I've told people I owe Illinois Farm Bureau a debt of gratitude for all that they've done for me and my farm, my leadership development, everything that I feel a need to repay, and to also keep this organization on firm footing.
So you then ran for state vice president.
I did in 2017. That was quite a year. I converted the home farm to wean to finish, so we got rid of 800 sows.
You weren't doing full birth to...
No, converted it all over and started getting wiener pigs in, and 3 of my 4 children got married that year. So that was...
Hey, I'm vice president vice president of the Farm Bureau doesn't pay that much.
No, well, they were very budget conscious, but that was actually, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it was such a fun year. I'm traveling the state, but our kids all did great. We just had a ton of fun that year, but it was a big year. But yes, I ran and was elected in December of 2017.
Okay. Is being the vice president of the Illinois Farm Bureau, is it what you expected it to be? Because it's not a full-time job, but it can be, can't it?
Yeah, it's way more rewarding than I anticipated.
Really?
It is. So as a county president, I knew what we did in our counties, in our county. And in Ogle County, we really focused on Ogle County. Yes, we relied on Illinois Farm Bureau for expertise, but I knew Illinois Farm Bureau was impressive and able to do great things. But once you see it up close and personal, it really is impressive. And so it's incredibly rewarding to be part of that team.
You know, that's one of the things that you see, but as the vice president now, though, you're seeing this in all kinds of different counties.
Right, and that's one of the things when you asked about commitment. I've been fortunate to keep traveling. I've had lots of opportunities, and you and I were talking a little bit earlier. I've not said no to any invitations. That's why I end up here in Clay County doing TV. I'll go because I believe keeping that connectedness with the counties is what's important for Illinois Farm Bureau. So I spend about 160 days a year traveling the state, doing things not nearly as much fun as this.
Well,
this is the most fun. This is the most fun I've ever had.
What could be?
Absolutely, this is the best. But
I got to ask. Okay, I will drive by them from time to time, and I've been invited. I work with, of course, Kim Adair here up in Louisville, and Doug Anderson down in Fairfield and in
Wayne and White. Yep.
He always seems to, and Kim does up here too. They always seem to have these really. They're getting bigger and bigger. The Farm Day things. Tell me a little bit. Are they getting bigger? Are you guys throwing more money at this, or how's that working?
No, I think counties are prioritizing things.
Yeah.
And going where they can get the most bang for their buck. So I'm not familiar with what exactly is going on down here on farm days, but knowing your leadership, like I know Henry or David White, Henry Kessler here in Clay County, I'm sure he's prioritizing and focusing on things where he can get the most impact, and that's good. I mean, I think that's what we need to do. We need to focus on our priorities and execute with excellence, and I'm sure that's what's happening.
So you don't get invited to these places?
Well, I do. But so like White County, I was supposed to go. No, it was Wayne County, I believe. I was supposed to go to 3 weeks ago, but they got bumped because Fox News was at my farm all day.
I tell you what, let's do. That was an interesting. I've got that. I've got pictures and video and stuff, and I was going to talk
But
about
I can
that.
only be one place at a time. That at the end of the day.
If you're going to get on Fox News, even though it's the Fox Business Channel, they probably showed that on Fox News.
I did
too,
like
right?
5 hits that day between Fox and Fox Business. I don't know which one you've got.
You want to see it? You want me to show?
I don't know which one you've got. So I've been on Fox quite a bit. See which one you've got.
We'll show. This is Brian Duncan on Fox News.
Western lawmakers are trying to expand the use of ethanol to lower gas prices.
Does that make sense? But high corn prices may be getting in the way.
Grady Trimble from our sister network, Fox Business, is live from Polo, Illinois to explain. Grady?
Good morning, guys. We found something Senators Chuck Grassley and Amy Klobuchar and a host of other bipartisan lawmakers can agree on. They want to make E15 fuel available year-round. Right now, you can only get it in the summertime, and that's because they say it'll lower the cost of gas. Ethanol is in that more than in E10 gas, which is regular. So farmers like Brian Duncan, you guys like this idea, right?
Yeah, and it's not just us that should like it. It's good for America. How often do you have environmental policy and energy policy and defense policy and ag policy come together for a product that's actually cheaper for the American consumer?
It is rare, but there are people who push back against this type of plan, including the folks at the American Petroleum Institute. They say E15 gas gets fewer miles per gallon. It emits more greenhouse gases than E10. It could damage vehicles and void the warranty, and it could increase food costs, especially right now when corn is already skyrocketing.
Well, we have plenty of ethanol in reserve to meet the demand if we would go to year-round E15. And I think the American Petroleum Institute would say about anything to protect their market share.
I think you're right about that. We report, we let the people decide. But guys, if this does pass, it's been tried before, but if it does pass, you could see E15 right alongside all the other gas selections at the pump.
You know, Grady, one of the things, the gas station I go to, it's not even a choice. They just have the ethanol already in the gas. I think it's 15% ethanol and the rest regular gas. And the car works great.
Right, it is hard to find, so certain gas stations don't have it at all. Some gas stations, if it became available, would either have to replace E10, which is the regular gas right now, or they'd have to add an extra selection at the pump. But by and large, the folks at Gas Buddy say if you do use E15, if you can find it, it'll save you anywhere between 5 to 10 cents a gallon.
Oh, that's helpful.
It is indeed. And what about the argument from the petroleum people that if you use the corn to make the gas, then your price of corn at the grocery store is going to go up?
And it's already really high right now. And, you know, corn prices have skyrocketed, especially because of the conflict in Ukraine. But also, as Brian mentioned, they are trying to protect their market share because when you use E15, it has about 15% ethanol, 85% gas or regular fuel. So that reduces the amount of gas demand. And also, as they argue, could drive up food prices. I guess we won't know for sure what would happen until it does happen.
Grady, real quick, does it burn clean? Are these the green maniacs going to be upset by this?
The reason that it was added in the first place is because they argue it burns better, more clean.
Okay.
There you go.
Let me get you hot here. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had a lot of great opportunities to
get
be
a chance
with
to
Fox.
talk with those. Oops, let's mute that. You get the opportunity to spread the word of the work that you're all doing, huh?
Well, we tell farmer stories. Yeah. And it's a privilege to have an opportunity like that to tell the farmer's story.
The reason I mentioned that is because you see the clip, the fellow at the end didn't really know what he was talking about.
No, and that's, when they come to the farm.
Which makes sense.
And that's
it's only 3% of the world, 3% of the United States or 2% are farmers.
And that's why you've got to be short, easily to digest statements.
Yeah.
They're not there for a college class.
No.
And like in that clip you just showed, we did several clips that day, and that was the one time the people in the studio really quizzed, that was Grady Trimble. Other times, Grady then turned to me and started asking me questions and he after that occurred, he turned to me and said, "I should have had you answer those questions."
Well, that's true. That's a good thing. Trimble knows more about what he's doing than the people in New York because he's around.
Right. Now, he's their new D.C. correspondent. I had Jeff Flock on the farm about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
And did all day. They come, so Fox will come and set up like for 1 or 2 hits first thing in the morning. But other producers of other shows on Fox will see it, and if they like it, they'll be calling, and so they'll pick it up. So 1 or 2 hits can turn into an all-day affair, and that's what happened about 3 weeks at our farm.
That's incredible. The amount of money that must be rolling in from that. It's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. I'm only kidding. Those things really don't pay, do they?
But it is free media for Illinois Farm Bureau and for the farmer to tell their story. You know what it would cost if we had to buy that spot on TV and run those ads?
That was a 3-minute
advertisement, and even just the corn moving into the semis. That was the background. That was at my farm. To get that kind of placement on national TV, our team in Bloomington does a phenomenal job and tracking that, but this is the kind of publicity you can't, well, you could purchase, but we couldn't afford it.
You can't purchase a lot because it's high. You're watching Big Talk. I tell you what, we're going to take one more quick break and wrap things up here with Brian Duncan, Vice President of Illinois Farm Bureau. Back in a sec.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose auto owner's insurance. Later, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who have put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Harrison Insurance in Louisville is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Make Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield your fashion leader. We're the little boutique with the big inventory of beautiful, trendy outfits and clothing in a wide array of your favorite name brands. And don't forget our large selection of jewelry and accessories. Carnaby Square is Southern Illinois' largest dealer of Brighton. At Carnaby Square, we take pride in our one-on-one, knowledgeable customer service and look forward to helping you create your own special look. Plus, always free gift wrapping. Find endless gift ideas 24/7 at CarnabySquare.com and on our Facebook page. Shop the fashion leader in downtown Fairfield, Carnaby Square.
Napa know-how.
At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa know-how experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa know-how at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I'm not teasing. I'm not teasing at all. Brian Duncan is here. He is with the Illinois Farm Bureau, and he is a vice president with the Illinois Farm Bureau. And let me just go ahead and tell folks, you're running for president right now, aren't you?
I am.
You're kind of making the rounds of the state.
Well, I'm traveling like I always do, but yes, I have announced that I am a candidate for president. Our current president, Rich Giebert, 10 years off. He's in his last term, the last year of his last term, so I will be running for that seat, and it will be up to the delegates in December whether or not we.
I was going to say, how's that election work?
Well,
it's not
right.
to vote to the Farm Bureau.
No, the delegates at the annual meeting in Chicago will vote. Right now, I'm unopposed, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's fine.
But that doesn't mean that there's certainly a lot of talent in the organization, and I never take anything for granted. So, but yes, I am a candidate. I'm hoping to have the honor and privilege to serve, and that's exactly what it is. It's a role for a servant.
And it's a 2-year term?
Right, 2-year term, and you can serve 5 2-year terms.
Okay. What do you, now, it may be a little, this is kind of like looking at the sky and telling you what it's going to do in 3 weeks, but what do you see as the future of Farm Bureau? Are they going to get more into the country financial side? Is it going to be more on the ag side? What do we see as the future?
Yeah, I think as we look at Farm Bureau, it's a farm organization.
Yeah.
Yes, we do own the country life. Country Mutual is owned by the policyholders, but we oversee it. And that relationship is valuable and important on multiple levels. But we are a farm organization, and there is no shortage of farm issues to deal with on the federal, state, and local level. I mean, local issues are a full-time job, speaking as a past county Farm Bureau president, in between all the golfing that you were saying. Yeah,
I understand the golf and the schmoozing.
But the unified voice of agriculture and the need to continue to tell farmers' story. The demographic challenges we have in agriculture are well known. Our numbers
are getting better either.
They're getting smaller, and we're getting older. And so that even creates a bigger need for a unified voice that's focused in its policy objectives and able to articulate and execute on its priority issues.
What do you tell the youngster? I mean, because the thing you got to reach out to are the 19, the 18, the kids in the FFA.
Yes.
What is the message to these youngsters to try to keep them home on the farm after they've seen New York City, after they've seen Chicago?
Sure, and we talk about coming back to agriculture in general. There is a world of opportunity.
Yeah.
Wherever your interests are.
And not just running a farm.
No, whatever your interests are, I can find you a career path in agriculture consistent with that, number one. Number two, it's a very noble calling, work in agriculture. Feeding, providing clothing, fiber, and fuel for a hungry world is a noble calling, and it's very rewarding work. And as we look at the need then for these young quality people to get involved in Farm Bureau, my message is you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
You can't do it alone. There's strength in numbers, and I know younger generations maybe don't buy into that like maybe we did, but it's true. Trust me, you're going to be so much better off for being part of a group. Number one, you don't know everything.
Right.
And just the personal development, the things that I've learned by networking with other farmers is benefited my organization.
You know, that's the thing. I'm assuming working with other farmers, you see what somebody else is doing with their hog farm, for example.
Absolutely.
That is working well for them.
Yep.
And you'll see what somebody is doing with their grain farm that, this guy's marketing with these people and it seems to be working well.
And developing business skills. Again, as you become involved in this organization, you'll learn leadership skills that'll benefit you as you run your business. The benefits are almost unlimited, and I'm a real cheerleader, but you can get out of it so much for yourself as an individual, but yet contribute to the future of our industry as well.
That's yeoman work. I tell you what, that makes a ton of sense. And you say you'll know more in December then.
Sure, it'll be up to the delegates.
Where's the convention?
It'll be in Chicago, and so there will be an election. Like I said, the delegates choose who leads Illinois Farm Bureau, and so I'd consider it a privilege.
I've been flashing your name up here. If there are folks who are involved in farming, and maybe in or not in Farm Bureau, do you invite people to check you out on Facebook or ask you questions, or what's your best way if somebody wants to get a hold of you?
Well, check out Illinois Farm Bureau.
Okay.
go to our Facebook page, and look at our social media, go to the Illinois Farm Families site, and you'll see if they're not familiar with agriculture, Bruce, if they have questions about agriculture, I'd recommend the Illinois Farm Families site. I can be reached through the Illinois Farm Bureau. My email is available. It's bduncan@ilfb.org. Anybody can reach me, and I love to interact with the members. That's what I've been doing for the last 6 years as I've driven around the state.
That's what you've been doing for 6 years statewide, and for 30 all the course of your time there. Okay, I got to ask you then. I've got two questions to ask, and one of them you may not like, because it's probably in the book. Barry asked me to ask. He probably already asked you about this.
No.
What is the? We are occasionally having difficulties from farmers with easements.
Sure.
What is the problem with giving us easements, or is there a problem with that?
Well, private property rights are
I asked him the tough question.
No, private property rights are very important to farmers. And what may be a simple easement in the minds of a communications company that wants to bury a fiber optic, may get a lot more complicated when there's tile lines involved. And that farm's been bought and paid for, and if the tile lines are damaged, it can do tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage to land. And so that's why easements can sometimes be challenging. I would urge anybody that is seeking to lay fiber optics to have open communications with landowners.
That's good.
Farmers don't like surprises.
That's great. That's what I wanted to hear, because I just didn't want to hear a willy-nilly automatic no.
I think open communications,
individual communication works best in all cases.
Absolutely. I don't think a farmer wants to wake up one morning and walk out and see a trencher cutting his tile lines and not even know what's going on.
That would be rough. That'd be bad.
And so that's happened at times. There's been companies then do damage and refuse to fix it. And so that word spreads in the agricultural community, and then that raises everybody's concern level.
Communication.
So communication is a good place to start.
If you've been all over the state, we've got like 2 minutes to go, a minute and a half to go. These are the tough questions now.
Sure.
You've been all over the state. Where am I going to find a good hamburger, the best cheeseburger? You've had to travel.
Yeah.
And hey, don't worry. People in other places aren't going to be listening or watching this if you pick something that they don't like.
I would say.
Where am I going to get a good cheeseburger?
Yeah, and so I'm going to be partial to my part of the world.
Okay, I guess I can understand that.
The Brew and Chew in Pearl City, Illinois.
Really?
It was rated. It's had some of the top-rated burgers, and it is very good. And there is the Loose Screw in German Valley, Illinois. That is
I've never heard
right
that.
there.
The Pearl City place, I think I'd heard of.
The Loose Screw in German Valley. I played in a German Valley softball league for 30 years, and going down for a cheeseburger afterwards is better than playing the actual game itself. So I would say check out those two if you're ever in my neck of the woods.
Oh, I like the line of thinking. Yeah, that makes that makes a ton of sense. All right, and you're also the other thing. You're tremendously close up there. I already mentioned Wisconsin. Do you ever get up there to Wisconsin and get New Glarus beer because they won't bring it into Illinois?
We do, but I tell you what. You mentioned craft beer earlier. There are several craft breweries in our corner of the state. Again, I urge people when you get a chance, take a drive. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
But there's a little brewery called Wishful Acres outside of Lena that is phenomenal. There's a brewery in Stockton. There's one in Freeport. There's one in Galena.
We drove through Freeport on the way up to New Glarus one time.
Yeah. Well, that's how you. But yes,
that's the best way to get
sitting there at New Glarus at the facility, sitting up on that hill in their beer garden, looking out over the Wisconsin valleys, drinking a spotted cow, is an enjoyable afternoon.
Is a wonderful way.
It's an enjoyable afternoon.
Brian, I appreciate your time here today.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you for inviting me.
You're very welcome anytime. And again, that's Brian Duncan. He's the Vice President of the Illinois Farm Bureau and looking to be president soon. And best of luck to you in that endeavor.
Well, thank you.
And best of luck on the rest of the way for the Illinois Farm Bureau. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see y'all next time on Big Talk. Have a great day.